Good morning, everyone. So, our today's topic in operations management and industrial management is inventory management. So, when we talk about inventory management, it is one of the most important topic from exam point of view. So, we will first understand what is inventory means. So, inventory can be defined as stock or goods. So what is inventory? So basic idea of holding inventory, it simply means that if you are holding inventory for the sale in ordinary course of business, or you can hold inventory for the production process, or you can hold the inventory to consume in the production process. So on the basis of which there are several kinds of inventory. So one can say that inventory refers to a stock pile of product a firm offering for the sale and for the for the consumption in production process. Now we move on to the topic, which is meaning of inventory management. So inventory, as you see on the slide, inventory refers to stock of the product a firm is offering for sale and its component that make up the product. In short, inventory is such type of assets which will be disposed of in future in the ordinary course of a business. Now we will talk about why an organization is holding inventory. So as you see on the slide, there are three motives of holding inventory. So first and foremost motive is known as transactional motive. So just like finished goods are kept in the organization for the purpose of sale, and the raw material is kept in the organization for production process. So transaction motive is expresses the need to maintain inventory to facilitate production and sales operations smoothly. Now we move on to second motive, which is known as precautionary motive. As the name suggests, that precautionary motive includes holding of inventory to guard against the risk or of unpredictable change in demand and supply forces. So if there is uh, change in demand and supply position of the raw material which you are using in your organization, so to guard your production process and smooth conduction of your production process, you can hold certain inventories in anticipation. So that is called precautionary motive, such as raw material and the finished goods to meet unforeseen circumstances or any emergency. Third motive is known as speculative motive. See, this for this motive, to capitalize on market opportunity in case of shortage of product in the market, and you have already stored the that product in your inventory, and then you will throw it in the market for making extra profits. So this is precautionary motive, speculative motive. It includes the decision to increase or reduce the inventory level to take advantage of price fluctuation so that you can maximize your profit in that particular situation. So these were the motives. And now we were talking about the objectives of inventory management or holding of inventory. First is to ensure condition of supply of the material to facilitate uninterrupted production. So why you store raw material, this is the motive by for which you are holding raw material, because you don't want to interrupt your production process. So for the continuous supply in your production process, organizations hold inventories. Second objective is to maintain sufficient stock of raw material during short supply. See, if there will be a short supply in the market for your raw material, So you can hold as the buffer stock of raw material, so that you can not go run out, you cannot run out with the inventories, and your production process will not hamper. Third is to maintain sufficient finished good for efficient customer service. See, the demand of any commodity may fluctuate. So, to mitigate the effect of this fluctuation, one can, or a producer can hold the sufficient amount of finished good in their inventory, so that if there is a fluctuation in the demand of commodity, so they can mitigate that demand also. Next objective is to minimize the cost of production. So if you are preparing something in high volume, so there are certain costs involved in the production, which can be minimized in case of high volume of production. So uh, if you are storing high volume of commodities, so you can minimize the cost also. As well as in the case of raw materials also, if you bulk order the raw material, you can get certain discounts, so it will also help in minimizing the cost of production. And the last objective is to maintain optimum level of investment in the inventory. See, if you are holding any kind of inventory, you are involving certain kind of cost in it, so it will occupy certain capital or the cost of your organization. So the optimum level of inventory should be held by an organization to minimize the cost of holding inventory, as well as to gain profit from the market in case of any ups and downs in the price of the commodity. So it is very important to analyze that what should be the optimum level of inventories, and what should be the optimum level of investment in the inventory, so that your overall cost of production can be minimized and profit can be maximized. So these are the objectives of holding inventory. Now we move on to types of inventory. So it is very much clear with the name itself. So first type of inventory is known as raw material. It is somewhere known as consumables also. So what is consumable or the raw material inventory? It is basically the inventory which goes on into cycle of cycle of production, and which is consumed during the production process. So raw material is the inventory which is used as input in the production process. Second is work in process inventory. So work in process inventory is a kind of inventory which is into your production process, which is not remain as input, and neither it is converted into output. So the inventory which is in between the process of production, it is called work in process inventory. Next kind of inventory is known as consumables and spares, like machine oils, like gloves or nut and bolts, tools and equipments which are used in the production process. So these are comes under consumables and spares. Next is your finished good. So the output of your production process is your finished good. So organization holds inventory of finished good in case of shortage or the surplus demand from the customers, or the demand fluctuation of the market. Next kind of inventory is known as buffer inventory. So it is a kind of anticipatory inventory which an organization hold. So if the inventory is held in the stock to meet out any uncertainty related to demand and supply of goods in the market, it is called buffer inventory. And last one is transit inventory. So what is transit inventory? The inventory which is into the transit phase. So it is called transit inventory. With the inventory which is on the way, so it is called transit inventory. It could be the inventory of raw material which is supplier has transported to your organization, and your production house has not received it yet. So it is called transit inventory. As well as in the case of finished good, when it is transported by your production farm and it is not yet reached to the supplier, it is also known as transit inventory. So these are the various types of inventory. So in this lecture, we have studied about the meaning of inventory, motives of holding inventory, objectives of inventory, and types of inventory. Thank you.